Hello and welcome to the show. For today's rally car build, we are going to have some rotary power, or better vehicle to go for than a Mazda RX-8. I'm totally not biased in any way, shape or form. We are going to see how another rear-wheel drive car will fare on our course, and I'm hoping that it will not be last. I'm definitely hoping that, that it will not be last. We've got a fair bit of PI to play around with. This starts off as a low B-class car, although by the time we put the snow tyres on, we're going to be up into A already. We will be going for maximum tyre widths, 255s at the front, and hopefully we're going 285s at the rear. Decent enough size tyres. I would perhaps like a bigger, but I'm hoping it will do. For the snow, we are going to want Forza aero parts on the car as well. I want my downforce, I want my grip. We want as much stability in the vehicle as we can possibly get. We do have an optional rear bumper. In fact, that's quite a lot closer to the rear bumper that we have on my actual one. I don't have an R3 version, I just have a normal RX-8, and they have like the little triangle bit. So fog light somewhere around there. Sure, you know what, we'll go for that. I've got distracted. What were we doing? Yes, let's go to handling part. Brakes would be very useful. Add would a rally suspension. We will, of course, anti-roll bars. I want the handling. The circuit that we're driving these cars around is quite technical, so I do want the handling parts in my car. Now, do we go for any weight reduction? I'm thinking we might go for this. I might go for just the first stage of weight reduction, just get a little bit of weight out. It's not a huge amount. I think we do want to get plenty of power. We'll see how we're doing with power-wise, really, when the time comes. Now, I'm just gonna have a quick look. I doubt we can get the quad rotor in this, even if we wanted to. No, we can't. Quad rotor would make it way too high a PI. And Turbo Rally, really? Turbo Rally is the only other option for engines. That's peculiar. I would not have said that those were the end. Oh, no, I'm not surprised by that, but I wouldn't have thought the Turbo Rally would be the one other engine to go in. That's very odd, but apparently that is how it goes. We might have to turbo it. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about the apex seals on this one. Let's go and stick in as many of these parts as we can and see what we're doing power-wise. It looks like we're jumping up PI quite nicely. Anyway, we might actually be able to get away with it naturally aspirated if we wanted. I might actually, maybe we'll give it a run, naturally aspirated, and see how it goes. 475 horsepower, 300 torque is not too shabby. I don't think that's too shabby at all in this vehicle. We will finish off the final PI with a gearbox, maybe a driveline. Maybe 2 bits of driveline. Fantastic. Almost under £3,000. So tantalisingly close to being under £3,000. That'll make us 2 PI over. So, nope, that's not going to do. Well, RX-8 is ready to go. Yeah, 475 horsepower. It's not too bad. Rear-wheel drive car with that little bit more weight in it. I'm hoping we might have some traction, enough traction certainly to compete with the Supra. Maybe we can also cause some problems for the Abarth, who knows. So, to test out the Mazda, we've come to the Mountain Peak Scramble, where the RX-8 will have 5 laps to try and go as fast as possible. Now, being a rear-wheel drive car, we're not likely to be seeing it challenge at the very top of the table. The Focus Rallycross is a time of 1:25.2 around here. The RX-8 is not going to be going that quickly. What is going to be interesting is how it fares amongst the Abarth and the Mark III Supra. The 695 has a lap time 1:31.1 that we have got to try and beat. I love the 695 Abarth, do not get me wrong. However, I would quite like to see the RX-8 go faster than it. Hopefully, I mean, it might be asking a bit too much. We'll see how it goes around here. We can but hope, and that was a little bit too much power down. That was very sideways. That was very sideways indeed from the Mazda. No, this is not how we do things. This is definitely not how we do things. Okay, and calm is definitely required. Calm is definitely definitely required for this. What I think about it, corner names, I have been reading your suggestions. This bit here, we are going to call McRae, as it is very much an almost-ish, just about flat-out corner if you're really brave or slightly crazy, and depending on your car. So I figured that would be a suitable name for that section. Did have a really, really good name for this cross-country bit, and I've completely forgotten it as I went to stop recording, so apologies on that one. Oops, see, there's a twitch into a wall. Yeah, apologies on that. I will try and remember that and find that one before next time. We then have this next nasty that is probably going to be a very, very sideways corner. In the Mazda, it can be, if you want it to be. It's a pretty sideways corner. In the Mazda, we then head down to the Raikkonen S's because of the horrendous ice patch on the inside. And next corner is going to be the return of Diabolica. And well done if anybody remembers where that name originally comes from. It's definitely a corner worthy of the Diabolica name. And our final turn, well, it had to be something to do with the satellite dish on the inside, is going to be Saturite. And that shall be our lap. You can keep suggesting names for other corners around this track, and we shall eventually build up, or if a car does something particularly spectacular to a corner, it might get named after the car and so on. So yeah, we will build up a bank of names for this track. We are not quite as sideways through turn one this time. I think the trick, certainly with these rear-wheel drive cars, is all going to be try and not waste too much time. It's very easy to lose absolutely heaps of time because the car is going sideways. You've got to really, really keep all of that in mind. I think I clipped the checkpoint there with the back of the car. It's a little bit cheeky perhaps, but it might mean that I can keep up my speed a little bit better. Credit to the RX-8 actually in dealing with this cross-country section. I really thought cars like this might have more issues over parts of the lap like that, but it is really not quite the case. Oh, make the turn through there. Stop getting sideways, car. There we go. Now, maybe we can... No, we can't avoid the ice. It's such an annoying length of ice patch. Just at the point I want to turn in, there is a horrible, horrible bit. Try and maintain that corner speed through there as much as we can without ending up in the wall or without ending up in any trouble or any sideways, and don't smack the fence on the inside. Around here, we're going to, again, it's just constant fighting. Oh, we're going to go miles quicker than the Abarth. We're under the 1 minute 30 already for the RX-8. That makes me very happy indeed. I think 3 seconds is a little bit of a tall order to find with this car. It's actually pretty good out here in the snow. It's really good out here in the snow. We've got plenty of power that we can actually use quite well here. Those big rear tyres, well, not the biggest of rear tyres, but they are still a decent size, are helping in putting all of this power down onto the road. I mean, that's not quite 100 miles an hour through that section, but it's above the 90, which is, good going for a car. As it's always going to be, the rear end on these rear-wheel drive cars is incredibly, incredibly loose, and it is easy to get the car sliding around. However, it could be a lot worse. I did kind of expect a fair bit worse. We are still constantly fighting the Mazda around here, but we are being rewarded with lap time when things go right. Now, can we? No, not quite. Trying later and later turn-ins there, and eventually I'm going to leave it too late and just smack the wall. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. Diabolica is going to claim so many cars as I try and get lap time by going faster and faster into that corner. I said last time out, it is very much, or was it with the Peugeot? I think it might have been with the Peugeot actually, that it is very much a case of you can throw the car in there with a lot more speed than you think you can. However, the danger of a corner like that is you are inevitably going to throw the car in there with way too much speed and completely and utterly smack the wall at some point. Okay, we are around the opening turn. We don't quite get airtime with the Mazda. It's close. I guess with the likes of the rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive cars, they're never going to quite have the traction to accelerate fast enough out of that corner to really get full-on airtime. So far, only the Ford. The Peugeot did a little bit as well, have got big airtime over that part. 95 miles an hour in the Mazda as we slither our way. Yeah, the McRae corner has definitely one of the scarier ones on this track. Don't roll it across there. People were saying they reckon I am going to roll cars, and just seeing the way that I attacked the corner there with an RX-8, yep, there is something is going to end up upside down at that corner. Something is going to end up upside down probably sooner rather than later, to be honest. Now, Raikkonen S's, let's make sure we get these ones right. I've done exactly the same thing again, although a little bit better angle through there, so I can carry more speed on the way out, which is nice, and almost throw it into Diabolica with a bit too much speed. Did we take the sign out on the way past? I'm not sure. I'm certainly glad that it is destructible either way, and we try and stay well clear of the fence. Get that power down. It's actually really good on traction. It's really good. It just digs in and goes, but we're not going any quicker. We're still stuck in the 1:30s. That third lap was obviously the ticket with this car. Can we find any more time? That was a very, very late braking. I wasn't sure I was going to get the car stopped before ending up in the wall on that one. We did make it work, however, and still avoiding the ice on the exit. Always the important part. Wandering a little bit on the way up the hill. I was trying to get on the power too soon. Oh dear, we've nearly rolled into we very nearly rolled into McRae, and that would kind of be a yeah, again, a relatively fitting part. Okay, I can't get that greedy. I can't get that greedy with the rocks. Oh no, we're all out of shape. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We just got stuck. And that's one of the issues with that climb through there with the rear-wheel drive cars. The front-wheel drive cars might also get into trouble as well. I'm trying to get it up the hill with decent speed, but it is so bumpy. If you do happen to lose the back end at any point, you can end up well out of position, and then you just lose all your momentum and you're stuck. You're just going to be going absolutely nowhere. I've chucked that in way, way too soon. Terrible line through there. Although we did go a better line on the way out the other side. Can we carry... Nah. We really can't get away with any more speed through Diabolica than we did before. About sort of 60 miles an hour turn-in is what the RX-8 is good for through there. We're staying out wide again, trying to make the most of the run towards the line. Stop putting up those signs. They're just going to get knocked down again. I wouldn't bother. We can't go any faster. To be fair, that was a pretty mega lap. That might actually be the second lap. That might be the first flying lap with the car. I just couldn't go faster. Well, sometimes that is the way that it goes with these vehicles, and now the RX-8 will... the RX-8 will be very, very sideways. It's 40 miles an hour. It's so easy as well to do that. I'm being an utter moron, and the Mazda is, yeah, fine, go and do that then. That is actually quite impressive, considering we're on snow in a rear-wheel drive car, and it is just the most forgiving thing. I'm astounded by that. Well done, RX-8. Much fun. You can see where we've been getting close to the Diabolica wall. I have no doubt that's where that... Or actually, it could have been Diabolica wall, or it could have been the run out the final corner, out of Satellite. Either way, yeah, there's a little bit of a ding on the back. It's fine. I like this car, though. I very much, and that's completely and utterly unbiased opinion for a rear-wheel drive car here, bouncing around on the snow. The RX-8 is actually really rather good. It will go almost a second faster, almost 2 seconds faster than the Abarth 695. It is only 3 seconds down on the all-wheel drive Peugeot, which I think is pretty damn good going. In all honesty, it convincingly beats the Supra Mark III. I think it's all about the traction we get out of the corners in this car. It actually puts its power down to the road very, very well. And that will help with that, because that's where the cars are going to lose. A car like this is going to lose its lap time to the all-wheel drive cars. So being able to put its power down to the road, to the snowy road. I don't know if it's tarmac underneath all the snow. I think it might be the parts, but yeah, being able to actually use some of its almost 500 horsepower is very, very useful indeed. Although if you do want to go sideways at 40 miles an hour, this is definitely the car for you, because it will more than happily be doing that as well. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.